Hello friends, welcome to the PSC junction. Let's start with the chapter number 2, that is inside our earth. The earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet. It is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. Have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of earth? What is the earth made up of? Interior of the earth, just like onion, the earth is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. The uppermost layer of the Earth's surface is called crust. It is the thinnest of all layers. It is about 35 km on the continental masses and only 5 km on sea floors. The main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. It is thus called Sial, Si for silica and Al for alumina. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica and magnesium. It is therefore called SiMa, Si for silica and Ma for magnesium. Just beneath the earth is the mantle, which extends up to 2,900 km below the crust. Do you know the deepest mine in the world is in South Africa? It is about 4 km deep. In the search for oil, engineers have dug a hole about 6 km deep. To reach center of the earth, which is not possible, you will have to dig a hole of 6,000 km deep on the ocean floor. The innermost layer is the core with a radius of about 3,500 km. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron and is called Ni for nickel, Fe for ferrous. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. Do you know the crust forms only 1% of the volume of Earth? 84% consists of mantle and 15% makes the core. The radius of the Earth is 6,371 km. Rocks and minerals. The earth crust is made up of various types of rocks. Any natural mass of mineral matter that makes up the earth crust is called rock. Rocks can be different color, size and texture. There are three major types of rock: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. When the molten magma cools, it becomes solid. Rock thus formed are called igneous rocks. They are also called primary rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks: intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. Can you imagine lava coming out from the volcano? Lava is actually feared red molten magma coming out from the interior of Earth on its surface. When this molten lava comes from the Earth's surface, it rapidly cools down and becomes solid. Rocks formed in such a way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. They have very fine grained structure. For example, basalt. The Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rock. Sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the earth's crust. Solid rocks so formed are called intrusive igneous rocks. Since they cool down slowly, they form in large grains. Granite is an example of such a rocks. Grinding stones used to prepare paste, powder, or of species and grains are made up of granite. Igneous, Latin word ignis meaning fire. Sedimentary, Latin word sedimentum meaning settle down. Metamorphic, Greek word metamorphose meaning change of form. Rocks roll down, crack and hit each other and be broken down into small fragments. These smaller particles are called sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. These loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form a layer of rocks. This type of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone is made up of grains of sand. These rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under a great heat and pressure. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. Fossils. The remains of dead plants and animals trapped in the layer of rocks are called fossils. Rocks are very useful to us. The hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. You use stones in many games. For example, 7 stones, Pitho, Hopscotch, Pound, Kit Kat, Five Stones. Find out some more such games by asking grandparents, parents, neighborhood, etc. You will be surprised to know that the one type of rock changes into another type under a certain condition in a cyclic manner. The process of transformation of rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. You have already learned when the molten magma cools, it solidifies to become igneous rocks. These igneous rocks are broken down into smaller particles that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. When the igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rock. The metamorphic rock, which are still under a great heat and pressure, melt down to form molten magma. This molten magma again can cool down and solidify into igneous rocks. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. Minerals are very important to humankind. Some are used as fuel, for example, coal, natural gas, and petroleum. They are also used in industry: iron, aluminum, gold, uranium, etc., in medicine, in fertilizers, etc. What are the minerals found in your state? Collect some samples.